right, that's good. Go to screen share. Everything's in order. Well, folks, welcome to the Coinlifestyle presentation. My name's Tom McMurrin. We're going to get started here right away. Got a rainy night in Georgia. That means my internet connection may start dragging because I live out on a farm out in the middle of nowhere, and we call it squirrel net. So if my computer falls a little bit behind, just bear with me. But got a great presentation for you tonight. First 30 minutes, we're going to talk about digital currency. We're going to talk about Bitcoin. We're going to talk about stuff that most people in the world have no clue about. So if you're in that boat, welcome to the presentation. I'm the author of the 7th Disruption ebook. It's an Amazon bestseller. You can find it there and pay for it, or you can wait till the end of the presentation, and I'll show you how to get it for free, and including that and the audio book and a podcast and all kinds of great training videos that you won't have to go searching for. So this 45 minutes will be well spent, and you'll get lots of value out of it. We're not looking to hard close anybody tonight. If this is your first step into digital currency, you've landed at the right place, because this is pure education and it's pure validation. And I want to congratulate you on being at the right place at the right time. You don't know you're there yet, but hopefully by the end of the presentation you will. And I'm excited. You know, over 27 people online, just on the online tonight from all over the world. We've got people in 4 different countries, and I have no idea how many people are actually listening in on the call. But just goes to show we're doing presentations every night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, folks. We have an automated webinar system that goes off 3 times a day, and our team is growing like wildfire, not just in the United States, but all around the world. And it's people that are interested in the coin lifestyle. They're interested in being debt-free. They're interested in having a currency that appreciates in value instead of depreciating. You figure that one out. But we've got some exciting news for you today if this is your first venture into digital currency. So I'm going to go ahead and get into it and find the mouse that works. There we go. But our journey tonight, I recommend a pen and paper, a cold drink, and some snacks. Okay, that will make it so much more enjoyable. We're going to talk about the history of Bitcoin tonight. We're going to talk about what is the coin lifestyle, what is the 7th disruption, what is digital currency, what are the benefits of digital currency, and how you can profit from digital currency. And believe it or not, we're going to kill all that in about 45 minutes. So our house rules, got a few rules. I don't know if these are really rules, but they are house rules because it's just the way it is. I want to be a straight shooter with you and say, if you come into our house, we're just going to tell you like it is. 99% of the world has never used digital currency. You're not alone. So herein lies the opportunity. So don't look at that as a negative. Look at it as a positive. We will give you the money to do your first transaction, so you have zero risk. I don't know what kind of rule that is, but it sounds like a pretty good rule to me. We're looking for pioneers who love taking arrows in the back. I don't know if that's a rule, but hey, folks, if you got thick skin and you're looking for an opportunity and you're tough and you can go out there and deal with people's negativity and ignorance, this is an awesome opportunity for you. That sounds like fun, doesn't it? The prerequisite of wealth is risk. I don't know if anybody's ever told you that, but if you're the type of person who gets scared if you get more than a 5% return, this is not the right place for you. Okay, you might as well hang up right now. Digital currency goes up and down at least 5% per day. So it's pretty volatile, but it's a lot of fun. You know, if you like roller coasters and you like creating wealth and roller coasters that are heading in the north direction overall, I think you're really going to love this. I compare this a lot to the internet of the early 1990s, and it was just the beginning, and we were going around, and everybody thought we were, you know, hackers and pirates and pornographers and drug dealers and money launderers. I mean, people, if you were on the internet in the early 90s, people thought you were from Mars. And it's kind of the same way with digital currency, so it's fun in that way. But, you know, the internet is littered with misinformation, and your Aunt Martha will not approve of you being on this webinar, so don't tell her. And if you do tell her, just know she's going to say, put your money in Smith Barney, it's so much safer. But, you know, I tell people, I say, you know, I know there's a certain percentage of my portfolio that should be in high-risk stuff based on your age category and all that. I'm not a financial advisor, but I've had one for a long time, And he always says, hey, Tom, there's about 5% of your money. You ought to do whatever the hell you want with it. And if it's high risk and high rolling at your age, he says, you ought to do it because that's a hedge. If you hit one, you can replace the rest of your money, But be careful of who you listen to. I mean, I know Smith Barney's good out there and all that, but Aunt Martha, if she's not a billionaire, I highly encourage you not to listen to her because I'm going to introduce you to some billionaires tonight that will tell you otherwise, that Aunt Martha is wrong. Now, early adopters make all the money in new ventures, and they're also the first to lose money. So I'm going into the digital currency business. I've been in it for over 5 years, but I went into it knowing that some things I put money into weren't going to pan out. And that's just the way it is, folks. That's life. And I call it a big boy and big girl marketplace. If you are not a big boy or big girl, you should not be here because that's what this is all about. The people here make the big money. The people a few years from now, they make a little money, but not much, okay, because the opportunity's passed. Now, how did all of this begin? Okay, this guy named Satoshi Nakamoto publishes a white paper in 2008. It's a and this is a copy of it. This is I put his picture there. Nobody even knows if that's him, but that looks like a Satoshi Nakamoto, if you ask me. But nobody's ever met the guy. But that's the picture they circulate, which I think is really funny. Kind of stereotyped him, didn't they? But anyway, the abstract is it's a purely peer-to-peer electronic version of electronic cash that would allow online payments to be sent directly from one party to another without going through a financial institution. Well, when he published this white paper, the world laughed at him, okay? And they said there's no way it'll ever happen. Well, a couple months later, he published Bitcoin software, okay, a peer-to-peer software that allowed people to do transactions amongst each other. So, like, if I wanted to send money from this computer to this computer right here, I would need somebody to validate that. That, well, typically a bank would. Let's pretend this would be the bank in the middle. Well, the way Bitcoin works, it has validators or people who do what are called confirmations all over the world, okay? So let's say this computer right here sees us do the transaction. This computer that is mining coins actually validates the transaction. This one might validate it too, and this one might validate it too if it's a bigger transaction. So the bigger the transaction, the more confirmations you will get. Well, why did these computers do the confirmations? Well, they get rewarded because they're mining coins and putting coins into the infrastructure or the ecosystem of the community, okay? And so the black boxes, they are people who are mining coins. They get rewarded for confirming the transactions, okay? So here's a miner. Here's us doing a transaction. I send you money. This computer verifies I have it to send. It deducts it from my account, puts it in your account, and all the other computers on the network see the change as well, okay? Well, if it's a big transaction, this one may confirm and this one may too. They will get rewarded as well for confirming the transaction. Notice there's no bank. There's no Federal Reserve. It's just 40 million computers around the world running the software. So let's get into the particulars about Bitcoin. I got to tell you what, the banking industry is scared to death of what this is, okay, because it's the most powerful transaction network in the world, and it's not just the banking industry that should be concerned. There's a whole bunch of industries that are going to get disrupted. So we're talking it's a peer-to-peer or person-to-person or computer-to-computer software. You can learn more about Bitcoin at bitcoin.org. That was the original site. It's completely decentralized. There's no management, so no CFO, no CEO, yet it's about a $7 billion a year corporation that does over 200 million transactions per year. Isn't that amazing? No central management, and it's bigger than 80% of the companies in the U.S. marketplace. Okay, I think that's pretty fascinating. High level of anonymity, no identity theft. Okay, so all that stuff about your financial information traveling to every intermediary that touches a transaction, well, those days are over. Okay, when I send money to Crystal, that money goes directly to her without my financial information. Just somebody confirms the transaction. Globally accepted by 200,000 plus businesses. That may be of a surprise to you, but I can buy stuff at Whole Foods, Walmart, Best Buy, Overstock.com, Amazon, anybody who takes PayPal, I have the ability to use it anywhere in the world. It's globally accepted. Most powerful transaction network in the world, okay? That's a big statement, okay? It's not only the most powerful, it's 420 times more powerful than anything that exists in the United States combined, okay? It's been the number one performing investment in the last 7 years. You're like, really? Yeah. People are blown away when they see some of the numbers. A first mover. Okay, here's the first move. Bitcoin. Number one performing investment of the world, 10 cents to $1,203. If you would have put $1,000 in, you'd be worth over $27 million by the time it hit its peak. Okay? Today, you'd be worth about $12 million. Okay, because it's sitting at about 453. If you'd have put $1,000 in, you'd be worth $12 million today, folks. That's staggering. And people say, oh, well, look, it came down. Well, I don't know if you know about technical analysis, but I've been doing chart investing for a long time. And if you know anything about technical analysis, do you see these 3 points it's hit right here, right here, right here, right here, and right here? Okay? And all of a sudden, it's starting to move up. Okay? Well, here's a downward trend line. It broke out of it, and guess where it's sitting today? It's up here, okay? It's already broken out of its range, and there are some people that predict it's going to go to 4,000. Not just some people, but, it was the number one best performing currency in the world of 2015. People are like going, dude, you made all this up. I didn't. This came out of The Economist magazine, okay? They think it's even going farther. It's going to blow away all the currencies out there, and some of you are investing in owning these currencies over here, and I'm owning this currency over here, and a couple others, by the way, that didn't make the chart but have grown as well, okay? Guess what? Reuters predicts it's going to $4,000 per coin in the next couple years. I looked at my wife. I said, we're putting $100,000 into Bitcoin. If it multiplies times 10, that gives us $1 million, folks. $1 million. It's $450 right now if it goes up 10 times. And you have $100,000 or $25,000 or whatever you have in it. How many of y'all could use an extra $250,000 in the next 10 years? Okay, there's no guarantee it's going to go to 4,000, but there are some economic factors that have determined that it just might. Okay, and technically it has broken out of a year range, and it looks like it's getting ready to make a huge move. The Chinese are buying it like crazy right now. The Brazilians are buying it like crazy right now. Everybody's scared to death of the U.S. dollar. Don't get me off on a tangent. I can go off on that one all night long. So what's a disruption? A disruption occurs. Now, this is important, folks, because when I tell you it's a disruption, people go, why did PayPal get billions? Why did YouTube get billions? Why did Facebook get billions? Why did Microsoft get billions? Because they were disruptors, okay? It's not by chance, folks. They disrupted something very important. Now, a disruption occurs when a value chain that is vital to the existence of a company, industry, or country is cut, re-engineered, or made obsolete. And you're like, Tom, what the heck does that mean? And why is that important? Because what I'm showing you today is the most disruptive technology of the century, okay? Not just 2000. I'm talking the 1900s. This is the most disruptive technology to ever exist in the last 100 years, okay? Here, let me give you an example of disruption. Wikipedia. When they created Wikipedia, when was the last time you saw an encyclopedia salesperson? Napster, a music sharing site. When was the last time you went into a Tower Record store? You haven't. It went bankrupt. Google. When was the last time you went into a library to research information? That's a disruption. Airbnb, disrupting the hospitality industry. Many of you haven't used Airbnb, but you can stay in somebody's condo a lot nicer than any hotel or somebody's home for half the price. Uber, of course, San Francisco yellow cab just filed for bankruptcy because Uber, in a few short years, destroyed the taxi cab industry. One of the most powerful taxi cab icons in San Francisco filed for bankruptcy because Uber, fastest company in the world. By the way, Uber owns no cars, and they're putting taxi cab companies out of business. Netflix. When was the last time any of you all walked into a Blockbuster video? Been a while, hasn't it? By the way, Netflix owns no videos. It's all digital download. Okay? AOL. You got mail. What they disrupt? AOL disrupted the U.S. mail industry. Tesla, what they disrupt? Well, they're disrupting the energy business. They're proving that cars don't need gasoline motors anymore. People love Teslas. Ford, what did Ford disrupt? The horse and buggy business. Okay? WordPress, what did WordPress disrupt? The publishing industry. If you have a WordPress account and a Twitter account, it is proven that you can take down a country. Just ask Egypt. Okay? A guy with a WordPress account and a Twitter account started a revolution in Egypt. All right, so there are 6 disruptions that have happened in your lifetime if you're watching this webinar, technologies that have created trillion-dollar markets and have reshaped human behavior. You know what they are? TV. You recognize any of those brands? There are thousands of them I could have put on this page, but those are ones: Turner, Bachelor, NBC, CNN, Fox, Idol, Survivor. How about the Internet? I could have put thousands of companies on here: Microsoft, Cisco, Google, just to name 3 small ones, okay? Just those 3 companies alone have their market caps like $700 billion or something crazy. Email, Yahoo, Gmail, Yahoo, mobile, okay? T-Mobile, AT&T, Android, Verizon, e-commerce, Amazon, Google Wallet, PayPal, Apple Pay, social media, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, just Twitter, just to name a few. These technology platforms created trillion-dollar markets. And the reason I'm showing you this is because the technology I'm talking to you tonight is bigger than all of this. It's taking on the entire banking industry. And what's crazy is it's an anonymous guy who uploaded the software, much like Sean Fanning did with Napster when he uploaded the music sharing site and took down the entire music industry. Satoshi Nakamoto uploaded a software that's going to rock the entire financial market. And people don't have a clue. You do, because you're on this webinar tonight. So what is the 7th disruption? The 7th disruption is a technology platform called the blockchain. Okay? It's a free downloadable software. It facilitates peer-to-peer consensus-based transactions, so agreed upon, approved, verified transactions. 40 million users worldwide are running blockchain software. Okay? It's the most powerful financial and computing network in the world. It's 420 times more powerful than all the supercomputers in the USA combined. Now, is that a staggering comment? I mean, you're sitting here going, Bitcoin's a scam. It's this little website called Silk Road, and I'm telling you it's the most powerful financial computing network in the world, and I'm going to back that up, okay? So if you're sitting here still skeptical with your arms crossed, you can uncross them, because I'm about to uncross them for you. I'm about to do a smackdown on you. Anyway, it cannot be uninvented or shut down. I have people say, well, what if the whole Internet goes down? I say, well, buddy, we got more problems than just currency. I mean, honestly, if the whole Internet goes down, we got real problems, okay? The disrupted. I mean, think of what all the X and Y generation will do if the Internet went down. They won't know what to do. I can say that because I'm almost in that generation, just a little above it, millennial. But the disrupted. Who is vulnerable to the 7th disruption? Any industry. Oh, look at this count. Any industry or organization who uses an intermediary, a middle person, to conduct a transaction. Are you in an industry that uses a middle person to conduct a transaction? Because if you are, the blockchain software has the ability to change your marketplace. Banks, including central banks, are in a world of trouble. Title and escrow companies, they are suspect. Money transfer services. I can send money to Mexico for free. Why the heck do I need to pay $20 to send $100? Okay? medical records and billing. Governments are suspect as well. You know, when you think about it, if you take the power of printing currency away from the government, what power do they have over the people? Okay, if they can't control the money supply, what power do they actually have? And it's something to really consider, and you can see why it's such a threat to the rest of the world. But when you have 40 million computers running it, how do you shut something like that down? It's very, very difficult, folks, if not impossible. Okay? Now, let's talk about disruptionistas. We talked about Aunt Martha. Aunt Martha is not a disruptionista. Richard Branson, a billionaire with Virgin, holds the largest, not the largest, but the most prolific conference on Necker Island for Bitcoinistas every year. Mark Andreessen, the guy who invented the internet browser that you're watching this presentation through, is the largest investor in digital currency. He's the largest investor in Silicon Valley, and he's a beast, okay? The guy knows something about disruption. The Winklevoss brothers have started the Gemini Trading Exchange in the United States, fully licensed Bitcoin digital currency trading exchange, and those are the guys that started Facebook, and then I think Mark Zuckerberg stole the idea or something like that, and at least that's the way the movie went. Bitcoin, this little guy over here runs a small company called Google. His name's Eric Schmidt. Bitcoin is a remarkable cryptographic achievement. It will provide enormous value to the digital world. This is a guy that knows a little something about the Internet. He runs Google, okay? Russia, Dr. Russia Ignatova, doctorates in law, masters in economics. This is a 36-year-old woman who has created the fastest company in the world to do $1 billion in revenue. It's called OneCoin, okay? Dr. Russia is she's crushing the industry. I mean, her organization in digital currency is 3 times larger than Bitcoin already, and it's only been around 14 months, growing like wildfire. Michael Novogratz runs the Fortress Investment Group, $55 billion fund. You can find lots of interviews about Michael Novogratz and his views on Bitcoin. They're very positive. Peter Thiel, are any of you familiar with PayPal? This is the founder. He believes that it could become the next phenomenon of money transfer. This guy has 180 million customers with PayPal, or he did. I think he sold it. Tim Draper with the Draper Funds. Tim is one of the largest technology hedge fund investors in Silicon Valley. This guy's all over Bitcoin. And you're sitting there going, well, Tom, this is all great. They're all billionaires. So what? You can get into digital currency for $1,000, $5,000. You can become an investor in this space. You don't have to have billions of dollars. I'm just telling you this. Go where the smart money's going, guys. Don't do what Aunt Martha tells you to do. These are billionaires. Do what they're doing, and that's how you get rich, okay? I mean, call me crazy, but I like following the smart money. Do you guys know who Peter Diamandis is with the X Prize? This guy gives awards out for the best technological achievement, $10 million awards, okay? He loves Bitcoin and is a huge advocate. If you haven't read his book, Abundance, I would highly recommend it. If you want to really understand where the world's going, this guy has seen it all, and he's behind Singularity University as well in a very big way. A lot of these people are, which are the most brilliant minds in the world, okay? So here, you want social proof. You're like, Tom, you're full of dung, okay? No, I'm not. Look at this, Wall Street Journal. European Union rules Bitcoin is a currency, not a commodity. Goldman Sachs. You ever heard of them? Small investment banking firm in New York. They want to create their own version of Bitcoin. Why? Because it's worthy of copying. It's that successful. Bank of America, small bank located in America, is trying. If you notice the sarcasm I have tonight, it's unbelievable. But Bank of America, small bank in America, I thought that was pretty funny, is trying to load up on patents for the technology. Sometimes I just got to humor myself, you know. But they're loading up on technology behind Bitcoin. Why? Because they're afraid of it. That's why. J.P. Morgan, another small bank in America, patents Bitcoin-like payment system. Why? Because they know it's the future. Bitcoin, the digital currency revolution, the Wall Street Journal. For all Bitcoin's growing pains, it represents the future of money in global finance. Guys, this isn't on some rinky-dink website on the internet. If you look at all these rinky-dink websites, they're calling it all a scam. They're just selling website traffic. They're trying to get website traffic because they know people seek out the negative. I'm pulling articles from reputable news sources that you all ought to pay attention to. And by the way, they're all recent, like within the last 6 months. Goldman Sachs report says Bitcoin could shape the future of finance. I think Goldman Sachs knows a little bit something about investing. Call me crazy, but I think you have to have $5 million minimum just to have them invest your money. Mark Andreessen, the guy who invented Netscape and the most successful Silicon Valley investor in the history of the world, says in 20 years we'll talk about Bitcoin like we talked about the internet today. Is that just strong? Okay, and you're sitting there going, okay, where do I need to put my money? Well, we're going to talk to you about that. These are the places that you could have put your money in the past if you wouldn't have listened to Aunt Martha, okay? I don't know how many times Aunt Martha talked to you, and you're like, who the hell is Aunt Martha? Aunt Martha is this kind of fictitious character that goes around and tells you the sky is falling and tells you not to do anything risky and not to venture into anything that's unknown. Well, guess what? These are the unicorns of the future. You don't even know who these companies are. You've never even seen their logos. But there's already billion-dollar companies on this page. OneCoin, fastest company in the history to do $1 billion in revenue. Okay? Bitcoin, $6 billion company. Blockchain, probably not $1 billion company, but worth a heck of a lot. Litecoin, definitely one. Where's the other one? Ripple Labs, huge. Okay? Citicoin's coming out with their own coin. Coinbase, huge. Gemini, this is the Winklevoss twins, okay? These are companies, BitPay, Ashton Kutcher invested in here, $100 million worth of investment right here. I was reading about one earlier, BitGold, George Soros, a big investor in it. Zappo, lots of investment. But it's amazing the amount of Ripple Labs, I think, has the two biggest Silicon Valley investors in it. Definitely a player in the industry. So digital currency 101. So let's talk about the importance of finiteness. I don't even know if that's a word. Wealth is found in the serial number. A little typo there. How serial numbers are valued. What is mining benefits, etc. Mining options. What are your options for mining? And trust me, mining is where you want to be. How to accumulate digital currency. So this is what we're going to cover right now. So hang on to your shoes and get your notepads out. Let's talk about finite first. Gold is finite, silver's finite, oil's finite, water's finite, I guess. But nobody knows how finite it is. You could own a whole bunch of gold and some, guy up in Sasquatch knocks down a tree with his pickup truck, and underneath they find the largest gold vein in the history of Canada. Kel's probably laughing because she's probably seen that happen up there. But, when you think about finiteness, I know how many Mustangs were created in 1965. There's 689,440 of them. You know why I know that? Because every Mustang had a VIN number, a vehicle identification number, and they printed that many in 1965. And since 1965, they have not printed any more of them, okay? Not of that year at least. And so that, to me, is a finite number. I know they're not going to uncover all of a sudden 200,000 more Mustangs that weren't exposed. Okay, there's none hiding in any warehouses anywhere. All right. Now there are only maybe 200,000 of them are still on the road today, but it's finite. And guess what's happened since this came out? This car has come out. Do you think the community of car lovers has gotten smaller for the '65 Mustang, or do you think it's gotten bigger? Oh, it's huge, and I'll show you proof of that. But finite is very important. If you know there's a limited production of something like a painting or anything, that's why paintings have such extreme value, because they are finite. There's only one of them, or there's only three of them, or a limited run of them, okay? But with this car, we know it's finite. But let me tell you what else is also finite. Digital coins are finite. Bitcoin is putting out 21 million digital coins. That's 21 million digital serial numbers, okay? PureCoin, 23 million. Okay? Litecoin, 84 million serial numbers. I think the next one is OneCoin, 2.1 billion serial numbers. Ripple Labs, 80 billion serial numbers. And they're retaining 25% for themselves. They're giving away the other 80 billion, nice of them. And then Dogecoin, I guess that's how you say it, 100 billion serial numbers, okay? And when these companies make that public proclamation that they are putting out that many coins, they can't put out any more. If they do, the community will leave them because the coins are no longer finite. And this is all public information, by the way. So when they issue that number, that becomes the finite number. It's like the 1965 Mustang. I know there's only going to be 21 million of them, or 84 million, or 2.1 billion. And, to put out that many coins, you just have to have a giant community. You got to have a way of doing it. OneCoin is cracked the code. They've got almost 830,000 members worldwide in 14 months, and that's 3 times the size of Bitcoin. Bitcoin's a $5-6 billion organization. OneCoin's $2.4 billion in 1 year. Took 7 years for Bitcoin to get to that level, and I suspect OneCoin will be there by the end of their second full year. They'll be larger than Bitcoin. But there's all kinds of digital currencies, folks. And what I'm doing personally as an investor, and I'm not giving you recommendations or advice, but I'm putting money in each one of these. Okay. I'd like to have a portfolio over 10 or 15 of them where I have $10,000 to $20,000 in each one, and I'm creating my own mutual fund of digital currency, okay? And I think it's important, folks, when you understand that there's going to be countries that have their own coins. Ecuador issued their own coin. Europe has talked about creating their own coin. And I suspect the United States one day will issue a digital currency, okay, because what they're doing is simply not working. All right? Now, the value of possession. A vehicle identification number is very, very important on a Mustang. If you don't show ownership of a VIN number, you don't own the car. Well, guess what? Serial numbers are prolific on everything. Car titles, there's a serial number right here. If you walk into a bank without the ownership of this serial number, they will not give you a loan. If you go to the Federal Reserve and you erase this number off of the $100 bill, they will not return anything to you. They won't return anything to you anyway because it's not worth anything, okay? They'll give you the value of what the paper's printed on. Now, when you look at the $100 bill, it's a debt note. There's nothing backing it. I have a lot of people say, well, Tom, there's nothing backing digital currency. And I say, well, there's nothing backing the U.S. dollar either, so what's your point, okay? 21 trillion in debt. We only have 5 trillion in assets in the United States, and that includes our entire U.S. military. So you do the math. We're $15 trillion, $16 trillion upside down, okay? So what is this worth? So somebody said to me the other day, like, oh, Tom, I held up a $100 bill at a meeting, and I said, how many of you all would like this $100 bill? Well, the whole room raised their hands. And I said, great. Each one of you, if you want one, will have to sign a $1,780 promissory note with me because that's what you owe if you accept this $100 bill, because that's the amount of debt that's tied to it, okay? Same with the euro, folks. It's got a serial number on it as well. So vehicle identification numbers are just like serial numbers on digital coins. Every digital coin has a serial number, and it can be fractionalized. Okay, so it can be fractionalized in the millions, and whereas a car title really can't. I can't give you 10% of my Mustang or a millionth of my Mustang, so that's just not going to work. Okay, so digital currency is really the perfect internet currency when you think about it. Now, how is market value determined for coins or really anything, or 1965 Mustang? Value is determined by auction or exchange. Okay, if there's 500 people in this room, that car is going to go for a certain amount. If there's 5,000 people in this room, this car is going to sell for more. Why? Supply and demand, folks. Digital currency is a trusted language that's created by a community, just like the Mustang community. Everybody trusts that they're buying, and they know a 1965 Mustang from a fake, from a fraud, from a real one. Okay? But every car has a unique serial number. Every coin has a unique serial number. It takes in paid-in capital or energy to create it, not debt. Okay, so digital currency is free of debt. If you want to be free of debt, you're in the right place. We are not about debt at all. Transactions are conducted peer-to-peer, computer to computer. There's no intermediary. By the way, if you had, let's say I came over to your house one day and I knew you were a Bitcoinista. You were somebody who had Bitcoin, and I said, you got any cash on you? I need to get some cash. I can give you a Bitcoin number, and you happen to have $500 in your wallet. Okay, I could give you a serial number. You could put it into your wallet. It would be deposited, and you could give me the cash on the spot. It's instant. Okay, that's pretty cool. We didn't need a bank, and we did it at your house, and it was completely verified and confirmed, and you know that you got a good serial number. No intermediary, and it's instant, no fees. Trust and transparency is the underlying asset that backs it. Do you all trust that you know how much the Federal Reserve has printed? Do you trust that there's assets that will back it? Do you trust that we won't go through another bankruptcy, okay, like we did in 1933? So appreciation is king when it comes to currency with me, but consider the value of the 1965 Mustang. In 1965, it was $2,320. In 2015, it's between $25,000 and $50,000. And if you want an Eleanor like I do, which I believe is a '67 Mustang, you're looking at almost $150,000. So supply and demand, folks. Finite number produced. Vehicle identification number tracks the value. Auction-driven market value determines the value, the price, and you have an increasing community within the Ford Mustang. Now, the benefits of digital currency. It can increase in value over time. No opportunity for identity theft or counterfeiting. You can throw that. You can cancel that $19 a year membership to Equifax. You don't need that anymore. Transactions are instant, no fees, global pricing. My Bitcoin is the same price in Zimbabwe as it is in Atlanta. No government or central bank manipulation. Portable, private, globally acceptable. That's amazing. I can travel anywhere in the world and access my money in the cloud. It's cloud cash, folks. Okay? So how does mining work? I kind of put this up here as a joke because it's kind of the way it was in the old days, and that's the way most people think today. That's how mining works. Maybe it does, but we don't do that, folks. We don't. It doesn't look like that anymore. It's all like in a back office of like a PayPal type office. You're like this next screen. What the heck? I tell people it's not as much how mining works that's important. It works. It's already proven. But it's kind of like I tell people, do you know how a brown cow eats green grass and makes white milk and yellow cheese? You probably don't, but you still eat yellow cheese and steak and white milk and cut grass, you know. So you probably understand all that, but you don't know how that works. And so mining, I'm going to do my best to explain mining to you in 3 sentences, okay? So are you ready? I just lost one person off the webinar. They're like, oh, God, this is killing me. Anyway, mining is a process in which individuals are rewarded with a block of coins, serial numbers basically, for putting in paid-in capital or energy to solve complex mathematical equations. I want you to envision somebody unlocking a safe, and when they unlock it, they get rewarded with a whole bunch of serial numbers inside the safe. And obviously they put a lot of energy into unlocking the safe because they had to figure out the combination. But think of a combination safe, I think is the best visual I can give you there. The more paid-in capital or energy that competes for the block of coins or serial numbers, the higher the price of the coins. Just simple supply and demand theory, folks. So if you have a whole bunch of people trying to crack a safe and they're all trying to do it, well, there's a lot more competition of them, working against each other trying to figure out the codes, okay? Third sentence, miners are rewarded for putting coins into general circulation and for conducting transaction confirmations. Let me explain that. Remember when I said that these miners, they are the ones that are validating the transactions? Well, they get rewarded for validating them, and it helps them unlock more coins that they can sell into the general market. So miners is really the opportunity, folks. But I got good news for you. You don't need fancy computers anymore, okay? So these miners, you can become a miner yourself and be rewarded for becoming a miner, okay? But here's the important thing that you are really asking me, Tom. Why is mining important? Well, early adopters or miners are rewarded for putting in paid capital for energy or for coins, similar to like employees who are rewarded in a startup company with founder stock. They get rewarded with the best price on the best value, okay? So I don't know if you like going to work for companies where they hand out stock like it's candy and all of a sudden they become super successful and you can cash it in and next thing you know, Jed's a millionaire. But it's kind of like Apple. You know, think about getting founder stock in Apple way back when, before it became the mega company it is today, not without trials and tribulations, which digital currency is going to have as well. But miners are rewarded coins, serial numbers at wholesale, and they can use them at retail or sell them at retail. So I don't know if you like how would you like to find a way to get U.S. dollars at 50 cents on the dollar or 25 cents on the dollar? If I told you there was a way you could get U.S. dollars legally, by the way, 25 cents on the dollar, would you be interested? And the answer is heck yes. Who wouldn't be? Well, that's the same thing for mining, is you're getting rewarded and getting deep discounts on the coins because you're putting in the paid-in capital. You're the one taking the risk. Miners take the biggest risk, but they get the big payday when the masses move into the currency, okay? So mining options. Now, these are estimates only. Prices are subject to change. No guarantees are implied. This is for educational and training purposes only, but this is a sample of some like mining packages. There's many different companies, but this is a sample of one of them that has 7 different packages ranging from $600 up to $100,000. And this is kind of the idea, and right now their coins valued at about $4 or $5 per coin, but you can look at that. If you put in $3,400 and you end up with, from your mining of that, you end up with 1,100 coins, you end up with about $5,000 in value, $5,500 in value for $3,400. $6,200, you're looking at about $15,000 in value. You know, $14,000, you're looking at about $50,000 in value. So you are rewarded a little bit more for a larger amount, a larger commitment. Okay, and I have no idea if you put $100,000 how many you get, but it's a lot. Okay, so that, like I said, that was for educational and training purposes only. But this just gives you an idea of the types of rewards that you get in just one company. There's a whole bunch of companies that have mining opportunities. This is one of the better ones, okay? And you can talk to the person who invited you to this webinar about mining when I'm done. 4 ways to accumulate digital currency. You can become a merchant and accept it for goods and services. Companies like BitPay, OneCoin, OneCoin will be coming out with a merchant program. All you have to do is take MasterCard, and people can spend their OneCoins at your place of business. Acquire it from an exchange like Gemini or Coinbase and actively trade for profits. Maybe you're a stock jockey, you're a trader. Maybe you recognize that technical analysis that I showed you on that chart, and you're chomping at the bit, okay? Notice this one's highlighted. Mine the coins at wholesale and use them or sell them at retail. Just ask me how, or ask whoever brought you to the webinar how. We certainly can tell you. Earn commissions and coins for referring members to the Coinlifestyle. Now, the Coinlifestyle is something we're going to talk to you about in the second part of the presentation. If you're somebody that's interested in building a team, stick around. If you're not, and you just want to get coins and you want to mine coins, you can drop off pretty much now, I think, after this next slide. Here's the reality. Bitcoin has already proven the blockchain technology works. Second movers have launched. It's now easier to use digital currency. Billionaires and luminaries are investing in and prognosticating the future of digital currency. Government-issued currencies are buried in debt, and customer confidence is at an all-time low. Trillion-dollar finance industry is about to get disrupted. We're about to have a lot of fun because, you know what? The banking industry deserves to be disrupted. They haven't innovated in 50 years, and they just keep increasing their fees and stealing your money. Digital currency is better experienced than explained. Join the Coinlifestyle and request your free copy of the 7th Disruption and additional bonuses. All of that's free. We want you to set up a coin wallet and conduct a transaction outside of a government-issued currency. We're going to provide you with the money to do that. Begin mining and accumulating coins and share the Coinlifestyle story. And if you want to start earning referral fees, you can do that. Now, the last thing I want to talk to you about is what we call 9/10 of the law versus 10/10 of the law. 9/10 of the law is when you give the bank 1/10 right to hold your money. I was reading an article today in Atlanta about a rapper who withdrew $200,000 to go buy a car for cash, and the bank manager called the police on him when he left the bank, and they handcuffed him and harassed him and took his money and all of that. And I'm like, that's pretty rude. Okay, the guy shows enough ID, he has enough fingerprint check, signature check, everything checked out. They even gave him the money, and then they called the police on him when he was leaving. Okay, I think that's absurd. 9/10 of the law is the law of possession. If you give somebody else that 1/10 right, they can hold your money from you. Just ask the people in Greece if they understand 1/10 of the law. Okay, that 1/10 is a big deal, folks. 10/10 of the law is about ownership. My serial numbers for my Bitcoins never go in a bank. They don't even have to go in an electronic account. I can write them down and print them off on paper if I want, and I can travel anywhere in the world with those serial numbers. But I own those serial numbers because I possess them, okay? There's no such thing as a missed opportunity, folks. It just passes on to the next person who's ready for it. And I can tell you right now that digital currency is the seventh disruption. It's the next trillion-dollar industry, and it will reshape human behavior. And you're hearing about it first time from us tonight. And I hope that you'll get into mining. Mining is where the opportunity is right now. We're out there digging the gold, folks, and we're shipping it around to all the jewelry stores around the world. There's an analogy for you there, and letting them turn it into jewelry for us, and we're making the biggest profit off of it, and that's what makes this business so much fun. But what we're going to do right now, folks, we're going to take an intermission. Yes, it's intermission time. You can take a bathroom break. I'm running a little bit over schedule tonight, about 10 minutes over schedule. So we're going to take a 3-minute break, folks. And if you are not interested in the business, I would recommend dropping off and getting with the person who contacted you about this and talking to them about mining digital currency. That's where the big opportunity is. They'll show you how to get Bitcoin accounts set up. They'll show you how to do a transaction and all of that. But right now it's intermission time. I'm going to grab a cold drink myself, and in about at 8:53 p.m. Eastern time, in 3 more minutes, 8:54 actually, we're going to get into the business of making money with the Coin Lifestyle. So I'll see you back here in 3 minutes, okay? folks, we've got one more minute, about 30 more seconds, and we'll go ahead and get started back into the business part. Definitely get back with the people that you've invited on if they dropped off and talk to them about mining, and certainly show them some of the different packages that you have with OneCoin would be a real good idea, and help them do their first digital currency transaction by doing the blockchain video, which is in the back office of your Coinlifestyle website underneath media links. If you have not been to media links in the back of your Coinlifestyle office, you are missing quite the value. So let's go ahead and get into the actual business of digital currency and talk about the Coinlifestyle. Our intention in creating the Coinlifestyle is to create awareness about digital currency and to create a culture of freedom without debt. Where I see people getting coins and growing. I think I saw Cindy got a huge amount of coins today. She's very, very pleased, I am sure. I know I got a whole bunch of coins today. People's wealth is increasing on a monthly basis because of what they're learning with digital currency, and that's what makes it so exciting. Now, our mantra is live where you want to live how you want to live, and create wealth doing it. And I want you to define that, what it means to you. Do you want to live in the mountains? Do you want to live on the ski slopes? Do you want to live on a sailboat? Do you want to live on the beaches of the world? I don't know where you want to do life from, but right now you have an opportunity, clearly, like a lot of people did with the internet, to create tons of wealth and pretty much to live very, very free. Okay. But what is the Coinlifestyle? The Coinlifestyle is a membership community for people who desire a culture of freedom without debt. And I don't think OneCoin is definitely a massive leader. But guess what? There will be the Apples that come along, the Oracles that come along, the Cisco systems that come along. There will be so many opportunities for all of us to invest our wealth in as we move forward in this business. And our community is about creating awareness and education for all different types of opportunities. And that's what our retreats are going to be about, okay? So when you think about, the opportunity here, you can be a part of a community that's not only going to focus on creating wealth, we're going to look on ways to expand it over the next 5, 10, 20 years in this space. It's going to be a very exciting space, and we are definitely pioneers in it. So creating this community, we're 62 members away from 1,000 people, by the way, in the last 45 days. So I'm excited about the growth that we've had with the community. Now, you can do a free membership, includes the ebook, audiobook, podcast, and training videos, and you can have that for free as long as you want, okay? Pro membership's $25 a month, and it includes participation in our member referral program where you can earn money for referring people, and also you get preferred placement in a mining power line. If you're new online, the person who invited you can talk to you about that, but that alone is definitely worth the money. Retreats and exclusive marketing tools are another benefit. If you're not paying the $24.95 a month, you will not be able to go to the retreats. Okay, that is limited to people who are pro members. Now, when you look at the Coinlifestyle Manifesto, we talk to people about getting educated, invest 15 minutes a day reading, watching an article or video, kind of create your own jigsaw puzzle of the future, create your own vision with all the knowledge that you get. Get experienced, conduct your first transaction. I tell people, if you haven't done a digital currency transaction and you're in Coinlifestyle, you are a fake Coinlifestyler. Don't be a pretend Coinlifestyler, okay? We don't want that. Definitely set up your blockchain account. Send me your Bitcoin number. And by the way, folks, you can send them all to me if you want to. If you want me to give away the dollar, I would love to give away $1,000 a week. You know why? Because I know if we have 1,000 people doing digital currency transactions, money is not going to be an issue for me or for you, okay? So the more people we can get to do digital currency transactions, the better. And I've just found when people do a transaction, they move very quickly towards the conviction stage of really loving what we're doing. Get engaged. Share the Coinlifestyle with others and help grow our community. Get wealthy. Earn referral fees. Become a merchant. Mine digital currency, which is where the big opportunity is. trade digital currencies, okay? So how do you make coin? We call it making coin. There's 5 ways to make money: marketing, digital currency, education, and mining. We know that there's a 10% fast start bonus for the first 30 days, 10% commissions on personal volume sales. There's 10% on team sales volume. There's 10 to 25% commissions, trading, matching bonuses through 4 different levels. And we also know that 40% of our commission is paid to our mining account. So, there's definitely some advantages for partnering with us, because there's ways to make serious money selling mining and educational packages that range from anywhere from $600 up to $100,000. Okay, you can apply some of those numbers to these percentages. Okay, there are different companies out there that have different compensation plans, but this is something that and I tell everybody, see the compensation plan for exact details. But these are just generalities, and to let you know that there's ways to make tons of money in this space. Okay. Making coin with Coinlifestyle compensation, we offer an 80% commission on personal referrals. Referrals 1 and 2 and every 6 pass up. So if you put 30 people into Coinlifestyle, 7 of them are going to pass up to the person who introduced you. Okay? So it's a pretty cool system. It's kind of an internal lead generation system that helps you grow your business. We have a 70% commission on the Miracle Mentor membership. That will be a $99 a month membership. We're going to introduce that once we have 5,000 members. So you will get an immediate raise on a monthly basis. Every time people that you personally have on your front line pay, you will make 70% of $99. And so that'll be a nice commission. And then 60% on the Coinlifestyle retreats. So the Coinlifestyle retreats, the fee to go to the events will be $999. And you will make $600 off of every person that's direct to you that buys the Coinlifestyle retreat. So if you have 10 people that you brought into the business and they buy the Coinlifestyle retreat, you're going to make $6,000. Well, guess what? Your vacation is paid for, isn't it? Only 10 people going to the event with you. 10 people on your team that you personally brought in makes you $6,000. Okay? And then, we know 40% of the commissions are paid into the mining accounts, through like the OneCoin compensation plan. That's actually a typo. I'll fix that. Anyway, some of the tools that we offer is, that's the guy that made the mistake on the typo, by the way. See his picture? But the 7th Disruption ebook is something that we give away for free to introduce people to digital currency. It talks to them about the different disruptions and why digital currency is the next trillion-dollar disruption. We also have a fantastic-looking website that everybody gets when they sign on with Coinlifestyle, and it allows you to give away our free ebook and has all kinds of videos and tools. We will be updating that platform and offering a lot more. It's going to look so much better, but I like it already, and it's just going to be better. We also have our automated selling system, our webinar system, and we've been working on maximizing and optimizing this, but excited that it's showing some pretty good numbers, 11% conversion rate on our last change, which I'm real pleased about. But this is something that goes off 3 times a day and automated. So for you international people that have a hard time making the 8 p.m. Eastern webinar, you got this that goes off 3 times a day. And I'll be recording another version of the webinar tomorrow and editing it and uploading it, so it'll have a new updated webinar on it. Now, our system, pretty straightforward. We have a new 5-minute Coinlifestyle overview video that you can send to somebody, and then if they like it, you schedule them for the 8 p.m. Eastern webinar, or you register them on the automated webinar system, and then have them on an orientation call with a leader after they've watched the full presentation. And then pretty simple, folks. You just hit repeat, and you keep doing that over and over and over, okay? The system, no hotel meetings, no one-on-ones, no 3-way calls. Yes, grow a global team from home. Yes, focus on lifestyle design. Yes, own your world, okay? That's our system. Pretty straightforward, okay? I'm building a team all over the world. I'm in I think, in 11 countries right now, doing it all from home, doing the presentations just like I'm doing them every night at 8 o'clock. And some people say, well, Tom, people don't have an hour, hour and a half every night. If they're interested in this business, they will, okay? And I will tell you that people that watch these presentations, they internalize it. They can do it themselves. Then you start building leaders. So I'm in the business of building leaders, not followers. So if you're cramped for time for an hour and a half every night, you might want to go find another opportunity. And I'm not going to take an hour and a half. Tonight we ran over a little bit. And I'm talking to you like teammates right now. If you're on the business section of this, we're talking to you like we would normally with our regular team. But the ADCs of Internet marketing, we focus on automating your marketing, duplicate in your team, create content, conversations, and conversions. That's what we're all about. And those that know me know that I create a lot of content that helps you create conversations, that helps you create conversions. And the final little training tidbit is run the system and let the system run your business. It's a numbers game, folks. We don't know who's going to be interested and who's going to be the next black diamond in our organization, but we just run the numbers through, and you only need 2 people that want to be black diamonds for you to retire making a couple $1 million a year. You only need 2 people to make a couple $1 million a year. You know that? But and you got to go through about 100 to 150 to find those 2 people. So live the coin lifestyle. You are at the right place at the right time. The question is, are you going to seize it, or are you going to listen to Aunt Martha? There she is. You were wondering who Aunt Martha was. That's Aunt Martha from Aunt Martha's Pancakes. Anyway, get back with the person who invited you to see this presentation. Secure your free membership and the copy of the 7th Disruption, and seize it and own it. I tell everybody, don't let the illusion of security steal the future of your dreams. I think that's a very important quote for each of you to remember, and I can't remember who said it, but I thought it was so powerful. It may have been Andreas Antonopoulos, but I think it's so important. Don't let the illusion of security steal your dreams. You know, the U.S. dollar has depreciated 93% in the last 70 years, and the only thing I want you to focus on is there's only 7% left. And I think we ought to all be looking for an alternative right now. But we want you to go live the coin lifestyle. And, folks, have an awesome night. We'll be back here Sunday night for our super call, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Invite your team. We'll be doing the same presentation. Hopefully, I'll be able to get it done in a little bit less time. But we clocked on an hour tonight and covered a lot of information. Tomorrow I'm going to work a little bit more on the investor section for investor types on the front section, and you may want to invite more people that have the ability to, look at mining packages to the tune of $5, $10, $18,000, and let's start talking to people that are really looking at being on the cutting edge of what is the next great opportunity, and that's the digital currency opportunity. Folks, have a great night. Thanks for being online. And I will see you tomorrow night.